Hello and welcome to the Roundtable Friends again. Dave Flores here, as usual, getting into all kinds of trouble and mischief. And tonight we're going to start the program off with our special guest. She has a very busy schedule, and I've witnessed her in her domain as a doctor and all the patients that she serves, and she's an amazing lady who is so busy. So we said, let's talk to her first. This is Dr. Pegah, and you tell me the last name. Dr.
Mashay, but I go by Dr. Mashay to make it a little bit easier, like paper mache.
There you go, Dr. Mashay. I also had a little note under there, also known as Dr. PM.
Yes.
Now there's a way to even reduce it more.
Dr. PM is going to be my new title, as I am a sleep doctor. That's my specialty.
Right. And sleep is such an important part of living. I was just kibitzing with her a little bit about, a third of our lives roughly spent in, either going in or going out of sleep, that sort of thing. But thank you so much for being here, Doctor. Now, I'd like to talk a little bit about your roots here, because you were here in North San Diego County for many years, and you ended up back here serving the community. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I was born in Chicago, and my parents moved to San Diego when I was 2 years old. And I've been a North County resident for many years after that. I unfortunately can't call myself a native, but I technically, I am, but I can't technically call myself a native since I wasn't born here. But my parents moved here because of the weather, really. A lot of people do come out here, right, from Midwest or East Coast. But I grew up in Vista and Escondido and also Rancho Bernardo. I went to Rancho Bernardo High School, and my parents had a business in Escondido that we spent a lot of our time after school. I went to Conway Elementary School, and it's great to be able to come back. I've been gone for about 15 years for all my training.
Oh, wow.
And it's for medical school and residency, and nowhere is as great as San Diego. So it definitely is nice to be back. I had the opportunity to work with Arch Health Medical Group, and they serve the North County community, and I was just lucky to be able to come back to Escondido specifically to serve the community. I'm a firm believer in giving back to the community. Throughout my medical school undergrad career, I was doing a lot of volunteer work, and I did volunteer abroad, like in Central America when I was a pre-med student.
Right.
And I'm not doing that specific type of volunteering now abroad, but trying to give back as much as I can is one of the other reasons that I'm in Escondido, but also my family's in North County still, so it's nice to be near them.
Yes, absolutely. And the thing is, the community has received you very, very well. I understand you're very popular, and it's to get an appointment, you have to make sure that you go after it. And of course, you're very successful in what you're doing. And you've done some seminars too, and where Arch Health will sponsor those, and you'll actually have people come in and give you questions about sleep questions. And the thing about sleep is there's so many facets to it. I mean, I have a list here, and I don't want to bore everybody, but think about it. Central sleep apnea, insomnia, narcolepsy, night terrors, obstructive sleep apnea, pediatric sleep medicine, REM behavior disorder, restless leg syndrome, sleep apnea, sleep disorder, sleep medicine, and good old snoring. There's a list of stuff right there that you dig into every day.
Yeah, a lot of that list is related to what people search for And when some people don't know, snoring can be related to sleep apnea, and they stop breathing at nighttime. And I did do a couple classes through Palomar Hospital, the medical center, to try to educate people about insomnia, and that there may be another reason why you have trouble sleeping. It's not just that you can't sleep and your brain can't shut off. Sometimes it can be a sleep disorder, like sleep apnea, that you have trouble with waking up multiple times because you have trouble with your breathing, and you may not even know it. Or maybe the restless leg syndrome, issues with the legs that make it hard for you to fall asleep. And so some people don't realize that that's the root cause of the insomnia. So I do love what I do, and yes, patients love me. I think part of it is maybe I do spend a lot of time with my patients. That with the new day and age, like, it's hard to spend that extra time with the patient with how the medical system is. But especially with my insomnia patients, you really need to dig deeper to find out why someone's actually having trouble with their sleep. Sometimes it can be stemming from years ago, if they had a traumatic experience. Sometimes people have a heart attack in the middle of the night, and then they have trouble sleeping from then on. So there's a lot of different reasons, and I'm lucky enough to have great staff to help me to be able to, work with patients and get the work done in a reasonable time.
Well, that reminds me too, the fact that you're a DO, osteopathic, versus MD, Doctor of Medicine. The DO, from what I understand, is a little more sort of holistic in the sense that they, can you tell me a little bit about the difference there?
Yeah. It's a common question because a lot of people don't know what it stands for. Some people mix it up with chiropractor or even OD for an optometrist. But DO stands for Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine, and it's been around for hundreds of years, like a long time, like in the 1900s time. And Dr. A.T. Still was the person who founded that concept of yes, part of it is holistic and looking at the overall picture, because around, I think it was the Spanish epidemic, that there was a lot of people dying. I don't remember exactly the details, or the year, but people were just focused on like medications, and so his philosophy was to try to heal not just with medications, but heal with the hands. And a big part of DO and osteopathic medicine is to use manipulation with your hands to help for chronic back pain or there are other things that can be done, and before you actually treat just with medication. And it's a combination of physical therapy, chiropractic techniques, and massage, but it really is more for primary care physician or for pain, a lot of it, although they have some treatments that you could do for like a cold, like an upper respiratory infection, or like ear infections, some of the sinus drainages. So there are techniques for many things, but the majority is for pain. And there are doctors in San Diego that do just it's called OMM, the osteopathic manipulative medicine, and it's a great tool. But my specialty is sleep medicine, so I don't do that as much. Unfortunately, I haven't really, maybe relaxation techniques there can be used for the sleep medicine part, but it's not a OMM osteopathic thing, and that we could do. That's kind of minimal, so I don't do a lot of it, but we again look at the whole picture of the patient to try to figure out what there is, instead of just taking parts of it. And but not to say that a DO or MD are any better than each other. It's just looking at it in a different perspective and having those tools to be able to do more. But sometimes a lot of DOs are not practicing that part of it these days, and a lot of us have gone into like a special field, but that's one thing. But we go to medical school. I did residency with MDs. My colleagues were MDs, and we take the test. Everything is the same as part of like testing and prescribing. It's just that we do about 4 hours a week of a class just for this OMM, osteopathic manipulative medicine or treatment, that we have like a laboratory that we actually on each other would practice how to do these manipulations, and so that's basically the difference between them.
Well, thank you. You know, I didn't realize that there are differences. I'm sure a lot of people out there, you know, would have those questions, but it seems like it's just more, again, I want to say holistic in the sense that you're looking at a bigger picture. And of course, now let's talk a little bit too about your moving more into Dr. PM. I love that name.
Yes.
Dr. PM. And the thing there is that you're going to be more specializing in the sleep area.
Correct.
And so that's part of your future.
Exactly. So when I graduated medical school, I realized I need to think of a name to make it easier for patients, nurses, everyone to remember, because you want to remember your doctor's name, right?
That helps.
And so I went with Dr. Mashay because at that time I thought I was going to become a primary care doctor only and do internal medicine, and I was going to start my residency. I never knew much about sleep medicine and how it was this field in itself. And so I studied internal medicine at UCSF Fresno, and did 3 years residency and found my passion, which is sleep medicine. And I did a 1-year fellowship at Baylor University in Houston, at the medical center there. Got a lot of exposure with children, sleep medicine for children, adults. Like I was working at the VA a lot, working with a lot of veterans during residency and outside. I mean, in my fellowship for sleep. And so the Dr. PM, I realized, wow, my initials are PM.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And I'm a sleep specialist, so I just decided that will probably be my future name that I'm going to pursue. And because I do some primary care, but my goal is to decrease primary care and transition to sleep but right now I would say probably like 60% sleep medicine and 40% primary care.
And it'll keep, I'm sure it'll progress.
Yes.
But again, it's a field that I think there's definitely a need for, and it seems, and I'm just observing this, in modern times, over the last, let's say, 20 years, it does seem that our lives with the technology have gotten a little more hectic in a sense. I mean, sometimes even the cell phone, and it's ringing, this do-do-do-do-do, all this stuff is going on, and it seems like perhaps our lives have a little more stress in them overall. And if that's true, I'm sure that spills over into the sleep area and its importance. So I think as we progress, the need for you, what you're specializing in, is going to be greater. I'm sure you agree with that. Right?
Yes, 100%.
Oh,
I agree. Many of you may know that there's a lot of gadgets out there too that are measuring your sleep. Your iPhone app. I mean, the iPhone itself has sleep app, and then like I even have this Apple Watch that I can have an app to measure my sleep, or Fitbits. Just a disclaimer, like, they're not 100% accurate, so just be careful with what you are getting if you are someone who's using it to monitor your sleep. But it is true, there's a lot of stress for everybody at different levels, always with age too. sleep
Anyway,
sleep
yeah.
doesn't get any easier with age, unfortunately. But I think we talk about sleep hygiene and the patterns and behaviors of sleep, which can be for like children that have the behaviors that they don't want to go to bed, can be related to teenagers that they have this circadian rhythm, meaning like they sleep later and wake up later.
There you go.
Naturally. But the technology is probably making that worse, because if you're on your phone and you're thinking you're trying to get to sleep, but you're really like being stimulated with this the light and the either games or like the Facebook and Instagram with the app. I mean, with all the things that they're all trying to get your attention. Like, you know, now that they know what you're searching on the engine, and then the commercials or the advertisements
they're all geared
come up.
towards that.
And so it's a very the technology is just made to keep your attention, and so that definitely is going to be affecting people's sleep. And to just put it away, the phone, which is what part of that sleep hygiene, just turn off your phone. Half the time you'll fall asleep.
Well, you know, even the old-fashioned term night owl, you know, they say, well, some people are just night owls. Is there anything to that? I mean, what does...
That's a good question. You know, there is actually questionnaires for if you're more of a night person or more of a day person, early bird. I think that there's not like research to say necessarily yes or no to that question, but I think there is a little bit. There's people that are that's kind of they've grown up that way. Right. It has become kind of their lifestyle.
Sort of a habitual
lot of times.
thing, more than just I was born a night owl.
But you can change it. I mean, like for example, I would say I'm probably more of a night person, but with medical school residency, you know, you have to
be.
change. Well, you have to also be able to wake up early. So, and with residency being at the hospital by 7 or earlier, so. It is something that can be adaptive, and that kind of goes into the circadian rhythm that I was talking about. Like everybody has a natural rhythm that your body tells you, okay, it's time to sleep or time to wake up, and it uses sunlight and then hormones in your body called melatonin to adjust that. And so partially, yes.
You know, I have a little thing here. It says, Dr. Mashay's philosophy, this is off the Arch Health website, right? Is in line with, quote, good health, eat lightly, breathe deeply, live moderately, cultivate cheerfulness, and maintain an interest in life. And that's sort of your philosophy in a sense, right?
Yes, and
there was someone that is credited to
that,
maybe
you should credit that.
William London, I believe.
Yeah, because it was not me who came up with that quote.
I thought you did.
I don't want to take that credit. It is an amazing quote or
I mean,
phrase.
I like that. I mean, but you know, you chose that as something to describe your attitude.
And that's what I believe in. You know, all those little parts, because you want to stay healthy, and that's the eat less to make sure you're not eating things like that actually can go with your sleep. We recommend not to eat heavy or late before bedtime. And the cheerful, like keeping happiness, laughter is very important for maintaining a life. And it's just the moderation, as in like you want to enjoy things, but not too much, as in like not drinking too much, or you know, it's just like that. You can use that quote for pretty much anything in life, I feel.
Yeah, I agree. It's more of a generalized lifestyle, how we approach life, and how we live it, and how we basically, too, how we treat others. And, you know, if you have a good attitude, you got your sleep that night, maybe you wouldn't be so quick to snap at someone the next morning. Who knows? But, Pegah Mashay, you're a doctor, you are a dedicated person that has a goal in life that you're getting to, and I'm so thrilled that you took the time. I know you have a very busy schedule being here on the Roundtable Friends, And again, now, Richard, did we have a board up? We had information on the Arch Health site and Dr. Pegah's, Dr. Mashay's. Yeah, there we go. By the way, I like those pictures. I didn't ask her about them, folks. I surprised her on them.
Thank you.
That's basically if they have questions or want to contact the Arch Health partners. And of course, now the shot on the left I was going to ask you about, is that during your residency or was that pretty recent?
That
as well?
was last Christmas, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was, I think you got that from my LinkedIn or
yeah, that's right,
maybe.
LinkedIn. Yeah, right.
But yes, that was last Christmas, and it's true. You can find me on the Arch Health site and look up the sleep medicine. If you're interested to see me in the clinic, if you want to talk about your sleep issues, just say you want an appointment with Dr. Mashay, the sleep specialist, and we can definitely see you. And I love what I do. So you will, I mean, patients have told me multiple times that they can tell that I'm passionate about it, and like I've spent more time about their sleep stuff than other sleep doctors. So,
yes.
And I'm seeing good results with my patients. So
yeah.
It's exciting to be in this field.
Well, it's exciting to have you here. Thank you so much. Okay, well, we're going to roll to our commercial break, and we'll be back with some North County news about the homeless situation in North County and also about used cars. Right? Okay, we'll be back after this brief message.
Quiz Show Mania is San Diego's best kept secret in live entertainment. Quiz Show Mania. Great for shopping malls, schools, company parties, special events, church groups, team building, and fun for all ages. Quiz Show Mania will work with you every step of the way to customize your experience and value.
Which of Earth's 5 oceans is the smallest?
Indian? Indian?
No.
Red?
No. Arctic.
Quiz Show Mania is San Diego's best kept secret in live entertainment.
Attract more people to your business with a custom video commercial. RC Video Productions is an Escondido company specializing in marketing video for both small and large businesses. Advertising in print with local coupon books, magazines, and newspapers isn't nearly as effective as reaching customers who stare at their smartphone all day. Let us help you reach them with your own custom video commercial. Along with high-quality video, RC Video Productions employs social media marketing strategies when producing video commercials to increase visibility and interest in your business. If you own a restaurant, coffee shop, retail store, yoga studio, or offer a service such as phone or auto repair, we have a package price tailored to your business. RC Video Productions can also handle the complete campaign from strategy to production to digital distribution. Contact us now to book a meeting or schedule a shoot and receive $100 off. Put your advertising message directly in front of your potential customer with RC Video Productions.
Okay, we're back. Wasn't Dr. Pegah Mashay cool? I mean, she's one of those people that, like she said, you know, so many people, like I know my mom goes to see her, and you know, people love her. You know, they sense that, you know, the sincerity of what she does. And like she said, she loves what she does. And that's so important in any industry, really. And of course, I love what I do here. A lot of people don't love what I do here. But no, it's just, you know, we love the North County. And of course, she is a genuine North Countyan. What did they call him? A county Diegan or something like that. Somebody gave me one of those little quips for calling a North County person. So enough of that. Well, so we're going to get to the news now in reverse order. Usually we start with this. First of all, homeless programs are receiving fresh funding for the North County. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with that story right now. Okay, more outreach workers to help the homeless here in the North County are among the programs that will share more than $8 million in state funding that's just been released to the San Diego Task Force. This money comes from $500 million that Governor Jerry Brown instituted. He put it in the budget before he was finished his term, and it was for the Homeless Emergency Aid Program, known as HEAP, H-E-A-P. Many of the service providers receiving these funds will use the money to hire more outreach workers to help connect homeless people with services that could lead to long-term help with their housing and their situation. And that's really what they need. These funded programs will also help homeless youth, more of those, people with substance abuse issues, more of those, and behavioral health problems. I mean, you name it and we've got it. North County programs received the highest share of the funds, taking in more than $2 million, almost $2.5 million. Those include the Escondido-based Interfaith Community Services Center. They received the most of everyone. They got about $1.2 million. They help homeless people, and it's Haven House Shelter. The program helps adults and children with disabilities or mental illness. That's another one that's not covered a lot. And they also help people that are at risk of becoming homeless. They may not be homeless yet, so they help divert and move them into a more positive situation. Also in the North County, the Jewish Family Services received $256,000. They're working on a new safe parking program that's going to be in San Marcos. Now, as soon as we get that location, we will share that with you. So in case you know someone who needs that service, they'll be able to go to San Marcos for safe parking. The City of Oceanside, they got in on it, $200,000 or so. Escondido, almost $200,000. YMCA, $400,000. Downtown San Diego Partnership, $300,000. And the San Diego Housing Commission also got in. They got a lion's share, $850,000 for their homeless prevention and diversion program. The Salvation Army received $886,000, well deserved. This is going to help their substance abuse prevention and diversion program. And these are all among the recipients of funding to help continue the efforts to aid the homeless situation, which is just burgeoning all around San Diego and San Diego County especially. So all in all, $8 million went out of the California state coffers, and our North County got the lion's share. Yay! Okay, well, let's move on to the next story that we want to talk about. Here we go. California vehicles averaging 12 years old? Well, first of all, let's talk about how many cars we've got in the area. As of the beginning of this year, there are over 2.25 million automobiles registered in San Diego, plus 500,000 trucks, 250,000 trailers, almost 100,000 motorcycles. So all that adds up to over 3 million vehicles. But that's not to mention the travelers, the vacationers, of course the family. I got to visit, some of my family came out from Arizona to visit, and I was so glad they were here. But we have all that going on in the summer program. So obviously we got a lot of busy things going on. But I think they should add another category to these statistics, and that is scooters. Tell me if I'm wrong, but aren't we seeing scooters everywhere? I mean, you're seeing them parked on the streets, you're seeing them. I saw one guy today, I think he was about 6 feet tall, and he had a scooter that was about 1 foot tall, and he was making it work, So, at any rate, the scooters are out there too, and what is the issue here? The issue is that most vehicles now, the average age that are driving around, all these vehicles are 12 years old. And the estimates are shown that the rate of increase in the age of the car is continuing. And it's expected to go well over 12 years as we go into the next decade. People are feeling comfortable keeping their vehicles longer. So the question is, why? Why? I mean, it's not like we all want to drive around in old cars, right? But original owners are keeping their vehicles longer and maintaining them better for one reason, because of the financing. If you buy a used car now, you can end up with a 4 or even a 5-year loan. And of course, on the new vehicles, they go to 6 and even 7 years. So in a lot of ways, the necessity is there when the prices of cars are high and the financing is very long, to keep the vehicles around longer. It just makes economic sense. So if we look at the U.S., the western states have the oldest vehicles. They're at an average of 12.5 years old. The Northeast is only around 11 years old. And that's due largely to less stop and start traffic that wears on a vehicle and weather conditions. But think about it. Our freeways, I mean, you know, even the roads locally in North County, there's a lot of start and stop. So I'm not sure that that stat's going to hold up over time and just say, well, the Northeast has the bigger, you know, traffic. Because I think here in California, we've got plenty of it. Now, Montana has the oldest average cars in the U.S. at almost 17 years old, average. So the youngest is in Vermont with under 10 years old. These aging vehicles are a boom to the repair shops. And I can attest to that because I have a vehicle that I had to decide, you know, again, whether I was going to put some major money in it or buy another one. Now, this is my first car after I moved to California. That was half a car that I brought out from Arizona. Didn't work out, folks. Didn't work out. Half a car. So I moved to Valley Center, and then I got this rig. And that was my answer to, you know, to the Uber and all that, right? Didn't work out. So finally, I broke down, got a vehicle in Aguanga, which is in Riverside County. About 1,200 people in that town. So there it was. I think it was on Craigslist. Paid very little money for it. So on the way down, driving it down, it just totally got, you know, off the road. Didn't work. Didn't get me home. I had to go ahead and let it go. So here's the thing. What am I driving now, right? You saw what I've gone through. What I'm driving now is an 04 Hyundai Santa Fe. So let's see, do the math, 19 minus 4. So then, well, how old is that? I guess that's 15 years old. So I'm well over the 12-year average as it is. Then I have a 99 RAV4, a Toyota, 150,000 miles on it. You know, drives okay. And that one is a 99. Man, I'm really good. That's 20 years old. Whew. But they say they go to 300,000. And I've got a 98 Ford Ranger truck. And of course, you got to have a truck if you're going to be doing any kind of moving around. And, you know, and I have family around that always need a truck. So, but I'm doing okay. And I think a lot of people out there, I think it makes sense to drive a used car and put the money in it in the long run if you want to avoid payments and large loan terms. But it's not for everyone. At any rate, so what is the crux of the story? The crux of the story is hang on to your car, and if it pencils out, fix it and keep driving it. And think about this too. We're kind of saving the planet, right? Because we're not, you know, the less cars we buy, the more conservation there is. You think that works? Maybe not. Well, it's a good excuse if somebody says, oh, that old car of yours. All right, ncsdlive.com, that's where we hang out, and we want you to visit that site. It's simple to watch our programs because you just go to ncsdlive.com. There's 2 big links there you can't miss. One is Facebook, one is YouTube. So tell a friend about our website. We'd appreciate that. We'd like to have more viewers all about the North County, and also you can give us comments on that site. Just give us your email and your comment. We can share some of those with everyone. Cruising Grand Fridays, Escondido, we keep promoting that because we love it and we go out there a lot. You'll see on the channel too that we have several videos from Cruising Grand. We talk to the owners of the cars and the people there, and it's just a lot of fun. So visit the Cruising Grand, and by the way, we have a big event happening the week after this Friday. I believe it'll be the 28th. There's a big show with a lot of San Diego classic cars, and they invited us to go and visit them, and we'll be able to broadcast live on that Friday with a lot of the specialty cars that come up from San Diego. So we're looking forward to that. So hope you can join us. Alrighty, well, I think we had a great program tonight, and again, want to thank Dr. Pegah Mashay for taking the time to visit us and tell us about her specialty of sleep disorders and all the things that she does. And also want to thank Rich Cruz. He's the man that makes it all happen, RC Video Productions, and we want to be sure that you stick around and like us on Facebook. We'd like you to do that, and subscribe if you're on YouTube, those sort of things. Because it's all about North County. Okay? Watching. Have a good night.